It had only been 2 days, and for Shido, he felt like he was at his wit's end, especially with the Yamai twins, Yuzuru and Kaguya. Both girls trying every which way to win over Shido's affection, and they tried various means, some means more appropriate than others. Safe to say for Shido, this felt like an almost impossible choice. Each girl was special in her own way, and it was more than just the outward beauty. But there was something else about them. They had their own charm, their own unique features. They were different, and not just in the physical sense or in personality, but in the way that they carried themselves, the way that they found joy in different and various things. Shido saw that both personalities were equally precious, and honestly, as time passed, more and more, he found himself coming harder to understand the grips of truly picking which personality deserved to live. Could he even make such a choice? Would it even be fair? In the meantime, there were other concerns, especially for Kotori. She had to meet with special individuals, ones of whom she had to answer to. Of course, there were many things that had to be discussed, but among all of them was Shido. Shido was not ordinary. They knew this, but he was beyond even what they had once calculated. And as such, the conversations were taking a turn. As the day was coming to an end, Shido was preparing to go back to his room for the night. However, both Yamai twins had stopped him at various points, and by the time he got back to his room, he only felt more conflicted than ever. Each twin had asked him individually to choose the other girl and allow her to live. At first, what seemed like a selfish competition actually turned out to be the complete opposite. It was purely selfless. The truth was, Kaguya, Yuruzu, they had both become fond of one another, neither one wanting to see the other one in harm, or to lose the other half. As such, they had both come to the conclusion that they would make the sacrifice, and that this whole sort of showing off of their abilities to Shido was just a way to try to get the other sister more over with him, so that he would choose that one. Of course, for Shido, he wasn't sure of what to do at this point. There had to be another way, a different way, at least he hoped there would be. He wasn't sure of what to do, so he decided to talk to Toka about it. And in the meantime, both Yuruzu and Kaguya would get a call from someone they had been waiting to see for a while now. "He's finally calling us. Can you believe it?" "I do. It was only a matter of time." "Well, there's no point keeping him waiting. Clyde's calling." The two girls would leave off immediately, seeing as how, now, they had finally gotten a call from someone that they owed so much. You see, the Yamai twins didn't have much. They didn't have much in a way of having a place to live, of having someone to watch out for them. That's where Clyde came in. It's actually a funny story. The two girls were in the middle of their battle. Clyde, in the meantime, well, he was drifting. He didn't have a place to go. He was still trying to figure out what he'd do for his older brother, who had been sent off to prison long ago. And while he was out on his stroll, he got caught in a storm by chance, as the two girls were doing battle. It was during the midst of their battle that the two girls would launch simultaneous attacks that ended up landing on the ground, striking at Clyde in particular. Both girls feared that they had accidentally killed someone, and for Clyde himself, for the briefest of moments, thought he was dead. But you could say that what happened to him was akin of getting struck by lightning. A 1 in a million chance, but still, a chance nonetheless. And when he emerged, awakening from that attack, he was completely different. A strange phenomena had occurred with Clyde, giving him the mastery over weather itself. The girls would apologize profusely, and Clyde saw this as an opportunity. From there on out, they became a trio. Clyde using the girls fighting as a form of distraction, long enough for him to cause the real caper. The girls were the diversion, Clyde would go in for the steal. It was easy and simple enough. The girls were none the wiser, and they thought that Clyde was just trying to help him out. But really, he was just helping himself. As time went on, his money grew, along with a little more of influence. As Clyde would come to learn, there were a lot of people in this world. A lot of people with a lot more money, a lot more freedom, a lot more connections. And all it took was knocking around until eventually you find the right one. You whisper a couple of words to some shady people and word gets around. Especially word that you're traveling with a couple of girls who have supernatural powers and abilities. Well, that's bound to tickle the fancy of some corrupt organization. And Clyde found himself in the clutches of DEM. Of course, if they wanted to, they could have just captured Clyde, but in the end, they thought that for the price of 2 spirits, letting go of a metahuman and his brother and giving them a sum of money, that was more than worth the trade. In the end, they already knew what Clyde could do, and they already had a pretty good explanation for why he could do it. So, there wasn't really much skin in the game for them. Whatever happened to him from then on out, well, that was his problem. For Clyde, selling out the girls wasn't all that easy because in the end, he wasn't really fond of either of them. The fact that they kept going on, acting like he was their brother or something, I mean, seriously, it was annoying after a while. Big brother Clyde, Elder Clyde, Oni-chan. Oh, shut the hell up. Clyde didn't care for any of that. No, the only thing that mattered to him now was making bank, getting his brother out of those bars, and moving on to the next big thing. Who knows? Maybe they could retire, but he died that. They'd definitely go on a vacation, maybe pop a couple bottles, do some things, and then they'd figure out how to really put his powers to the test. Maybe he could be a hired mercenary or assassin. He's pretty sure he could find some way to use his abilities to really capitalize on it. After all, even he didn't know what he was truly capable of. When the girls finally arrived, Clyde would be waiting at the secret meeting place he had told them about. The 2 girls were extremely grateful to see that he was doing fine. "We're so glad you're okay," Kaguya would say. "Agreement," Yuzuru would chime in. "I'm glad to see that you are well, elder brother." Yeah. You lasses don't need to worry your head none. Everything was going to be fine. I always assure you of that. But I've come because I've been hearing some awful stories about you 2. Awful stories? Confirm. What have you heard about us? It's that you've been running around with some boy named Shido. I had to come. I was too concerned. Shido? Yes, he's been helping us, with our competition. Oh, that old thing. Girls, if you ever need anything, you can always come to your big brother Clyde. Still, haven't you heard the true stories about that boy? He's dangerous. He's trying to use you. He's what? That boy is with some shady people. Some shady people that want to hurt you real bad, lasses. So please, be more careful next time. Come on, think about it. He's running around with a bunch of strange people that are always keeping their eyes on you. It's not normal. He's playing you for a fool. Have I ever steered you wrong? Both girls would start to reason that maybe he was making sense. After all, Shido had just gone along with anything they had wanted, and they still didn't even know what he wanted in all of this. I can't believe we were so dumb. Agreement. I feel as though I've been lied to. Don't worry about it. Everything's gonna be just fine. Because I'm here now. Look, that boy's bad news. And I know a way to get rid of him. But I'm gonna need your help. You girls in? Both girls would nod immediately. As nightfall came, Shido and Toka would go for a walk. Toka having wanted to spend time alone with Shido for a while now. As Shido told her about the situation, she could sympathize with both girls. The idea of sacrificing yourself for the person you care the most about, it was easy to understand. But still, Shido wished she could do something, anything for them. It was just then that they would hear the sounds of the potential spatial quake. That could only mean Shido and Toka would move instantly towards the resort. The evacuations were starting to begin as students were being filed out of the buildings. Everyone was getting ready to leave the island because if the alarms continued like this, there wouldn't be any island left. Of course, Shido had to figure out what was going on. The wind starting to pick up, the rainfall becoming heavier, thunder crackling in the sky along with streaks of lightning, until eventually he saw them, the vestiges of the Yamai twins. Making sure no one would see, Shido would lift his hand into the air. Onto his ring finger was something special given to him by Dr. Wells. It was a place where he could keep his suit compact and could change into it in an instant. It was like a capsule for his suit in the form of a ring. Very effective. As he transformed, the members of Fraxinus, minus Kotari, would be made into full alert as they would be coming into conflict with another battleship from DEM, who had their own measures of dealing with the spirits. That being in the form of specially made androids that were going to be sent off to capture any spirit in the area. Of course, Shido would have to focus mainly on both Kaguya and Yuruzu. Toka wanted to help, but she would be caught up in her own matters, as she would come face to face with the photographer Ellen, who would reveal her true nature as an agent of DEM. Shido would race to the top of one of the buildings, the Yamai sisters hovering just above, waiting for him. Kaguya, Yuruzu! Come on, you need to calm down. This whole place is going to be... That's enough of your lies. Agreement. We will not hear any more of your deceit. Deceit? What are you talking? Before he even had a chance to finish, the girls would shoot a blast of energy right at him. Shido was just barely able to dodge. Multiple tornadoes were starting to form all along the island, as well as the winds picking up into almost that of a hurricane. It was as if every storm on the planet was starting to summon itself to this very location. Meanwhile, Toka had to hold her own against Ellen, the self-proclaimed wizard, as the two girls would collide sword for sword. Shido, in the meantime, was having a rough go of it. Whenever they wanted to fight in coordination with one another, the Yamai twins were seemingly unstoppable, and Shido was learning that the hard way. Through his communication device, he could hear Dr. Wells speaking to him. Shido, what's your status? I'm dealing with the Yamai twins. They have the ability to control the elements of weather. I don't know what's going on. Everything was fine just earlier today. Now it seems as though they're turning against me. That's not your main focus right now, Shido. You have to take them down before they cause a real spatial quake. If they do, that whole island is going to be destroyed and everyone on it. The evacuation still isn't complete, and it's still going to take some time before the boats and the planes are able to take off. So unless you're willing to buy them enough time, you're going to have to stop them. But how? They're just too strong. You're going to have to incapacitate them, Shido. Shido would have to take the advice to heart, but still, it would be easier said than done. Even though he knew he shouldn't have held back, at the same time, he didn't want to hurt them. But at the same time, the girls didn't really feel the same. You're going to pay for lying to us, Shido. Agreement. We will not tolerate your falsehoods. Falsehoods? What are you? You're working with some shady group that's trying to capture us, aren't you? Capture? No, I'm not trying to. Quit lying to us. I'm not lying. Please, I'm just trying to help. After all, you both want to live, don't you? Huh? That's right. Kaguya, Yuruzu, both of you told me you want your other sister to live on as the true Yamai. But you both can live. You don't have to die. That's all I want. I want to help you. Help us? Sister, is this... Correction. That is the truth. The two Yamai twins would look at one another, neither one knowing what to say in that moment. After all, they had no idea that that's how the other one truly felt. And even more so, there was more conflict within them. Even if what Shido was saying was the truth, Big Brother Clyde would never lie to them. No, he always told the truth. He was always looking out for their best interest. The two girls would settle back down to the ground, the level of the spatial quake emergency starting to go down just a bit. Shido waited, hoping that they would soon come to their senses. Although, he would begin for a much bigger surprise. Because from out of nowhere, a large tornado would hit him in the back, slamming him directly against the building, almost knocking him unconscious. Shido was just barely able to get back to his feet, as the third figure in this equation would make himself known. So, you're the self-proclaimed Scarlet Speedster. The one that's got my sisters all nookered up and such. Flyboy, aren't ya? Clyde? It's okay, girls. No need to worry. Just like we practice. We've got them down and out. The two girls would still be standing with Clyde behind them as they raised their arms. Clyde would raise his. I'm sorry, Shido. Apologies. Please, don't do this. It's over for you, fella. The three would combine their final attack, with the building seemingly crushing Shido in that moment. The two girls, their tears being hidden by the rains, looked to one another with a smile. This was for the best, right? This is what they were supposed to do. Both girls would fall to the ground instantly, as they felt something shoot into their backs, like the form of a tranquilizing dart. As the two girls collapsed, they looked up to see the one that pulled the trigger, and it was Clyde. Clyde? Big brother. Well, that takes care of that. Clyde would shoot another round into each girl respectively, and then another, and then another. The girls were in excruciating pain with each shot that was fired, and the look in his eyes, they were lifeless, like he didn't even care. Big, oh! Elder, oh! Big brother this, elder brother that. I swear, do you bitches ever shut the hell up? Why? Why are you... Why? Because, I swear, you idiots think that I'm some charity case. You're not my family, damn it! I am not your brother. I have but one sibling, one brother. I ain't got no sisters, and I damn sure ain't got time for the likes of you. So, do me a favor, would ya? Go to sleep. Clyde kicked both girls in the face, knocking them out, as he reached into his pocket to pull out the communication device to contact the Bandersnatch. Hello? Answer me, damn it. Yeah, hi, you got my location. I got 2 packages here waiting for you. Come on, pick them up before they wake up. And you better have it transferred to my account. Uh-huh. Yeah. And lose my number. Assholes. Clyde was getting ready to stroll off when the rubble would burst free. And at the top of it would be none other than Shido. How the hell did you survive that? Thanks, Doctor. Stay focused, Shido. He's waiting for you. Just as Shido had been crushed under the rubble, Dr. Wells communicated with him at that exact moment to vibrate his body, to vibrate through the molecules that were the solid objects. That way, he could move through the debris and eventually get to the surface. And when he did, he wasn't too happy to see what had happened. Kaguya, Hiruzu, what did you do to them? I dropped the dead weight, that's what I did. If you want to sit here with them, that's your problem. I'm getting out of here. Before he had a chance to leave, Shido moved in front of him, punching him directly in the face and knocking him back against the yard. You're not going anywhere. These girls looked up to you. They trusted you. You were their brother. Huh. And what gave you that idea? They're the ones that came up with the idea of me being their brother. I was never that. Please, they were nothing more but a means to an end. A couple of chicken heads that served their purpose, and now I'm cutting them off. How could you be so cold and heartless? They looked up to you. They cared about you. They've been waiting for you all this time. You sold them out? Are you serious? If you care so much, then you can take them then. Again, they're not my bro. Shido would punch him once more. Shut the hell up. You're gonna pay. I'm gonna pay. You know, the first one was free. Second one, now you owe me. Clyde would shoot another tornado instantly at Shido as he gathered all of the winds that were surrounding him, creating one massive tornado. One that was moving into Category 5 levels. This could do just as much damage as a spatial quake if it wanted to. The Bandersnatch that had arrived from the DEM starship looking to take the Yamai twins were being swallowed up by the winds and being subsequently destroyed. What's he doing? The commander would ask from the ship. At this rate, he's going to destroy all of the Bandersnatch before they even have a chance to steal the spirits. Wait. Get a closer image of who he's fighting. The Scarlet Speedster. Make sure we're recording this. Shido would speak with Dr. Wells as he was informing him of the situation. Shido would quickly move the 2 girls to cover, removing the tranquilizers from their bodies Slowly but surely, the girls would awaken, the feeling of sadness and betrayal washing over them. They watched as Shido would attempt to punch through and get to the center of the storm, only to be blocked out by the winds. There's no point. You're never going to be able to get through or to touch me. But I can touch you. You think you stand a chance? You don't have a chance in hell. I'm going to raise this entire damn island to the ground. And you know what? I was prepared to just leave it all be. But now that you've really pissed me off, I'm going to make sure that I murder every stinking bloody soul on this island until there's no one left. I'm in God mode now, boy. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it. As the powerful tornado would continue to grow and grow in size, even Toka and Ellen would have to take a pause in their battle, with Ellen having no choice but to retreat, while Toka would move on to look for Shido. Shido, in the meantime, had to deal with the massive storm that was brewing. He knew he had to stop it, but he wasn't sure of how. Dr. Wells would continue speaking to him through his communications, telling him that the best way to deal with a storm of this magnitude was to cancel it out. By running in the opposite direction of the spinning winds, he could create a force strong enough to cancel it out once and for all. Shido would make the first attempt, although he still wasn't going to be able to move fast enough. He didn't have the strength to be able to match that level of force. As Toka would arrive by Shido's side, she would help him up. Shido, are you okay? I'm fine. I just have to figure out a way to stop this thing. How? How are you going to do it? I have to run against it. Run against the winds. But I don't have enough power on my own. Then borrow mine. What? The power, it's within you. You can do it, Shido. I know you can. But You can do it, Shido. Kaguya reached out and grabbed Shido's right arm. I concur, Yoruzu would say. You have the strength. The girls would pull on Shido's arm as they took their stand. The three spirits standing behind him, all of them pressing their hand on Shido's back. Whatever strength they had left, they gave it to Shido. Shido's body would be enveloped in a faint glow. He could feel the power flowing through him. Not just the spirit energy he had already sealed away, but even the power that was being lent to him in that moment. This power, it feels incredible. Shido, Dr. Wells would say, you're the only one who can stop this thing. Focus. You have the power. You always have. Run, Shido. Run! With a burst of speed, Shido would begin to run counterclockwise to the tornado. Clyde would continue to add more and more power to the behemoth of twirling wind, the two powerful forces moving against one another. All that was waiting was for one to submit to the other. The island was shaking, moving in every which way and direction. If neither one gave out soon, it felt as though the entire ground underneath them would break and be completely destroyed. Shido would continue to press forward, eventually being able to match against the power of the tornado itself, the two powers canceling out one another in that moment. Both would be entirely destroyed, Shido being knocked back but thankfully caught in the arms of the girls, and while Clyde was entirely spent, although he was the first one back to his feet. You think this is over? Huh? You think that's all I got? I'll just make one even stronger. You understand me? You girls have been the bane of my existence ever since. Ever since that day. Ever since that damn day. Why? Clyde, why are you... I'm in pain. I am in pain. Don't you get it? Every day that I wake up, I am in pain. My power, it's a fucking curse. I can feel myself slipping. Do you know what it's like? To feel as though your entire body is being held together by one damn piece of string. If I don't hold it together, I'm going to fade. That's what you put me through every day of my life. So why the hell would I ever love you? You all make me sick. I hate you. I hate that I have to look at you. And you know what? If I have to go, then I'm gonna take you with me. We're all gonna go to hell. Before Clyde could even attack, multiple gunshots would ring out. Clyde would see the bullet holes forming in his chest and the blood leaking out afterwards. He fell over to the ground and collapsed. As they looked on, they saw that it was Raina. Her cold and lifeless expression, her teddy bear close in hand, and gun ready to go. Raina? Shido would ask. Why? Why did you... I had to take the best course of action, Shin. You were entirely spent. This was the only thing that I could do. I had to neutralize the threat before he became an even greater source of calamity. I apologize. It wasn't that they weren't grateful for what she had done, but still, they just wished. They wished that it hadn't had to come to that. The fallout was intense, but still, the crisis had been evaded, and everyone had managed to survive. Both Yamai twins would be grateful to Shido for looking out for them even when they felt as though no one was. To show their gratitude, they would allow for their spirit energy to be sealed, thus allowing for the both of them to live. And they hoped that this could potentially lead to a fresh start for the both of them, a chance to right their wrongs, to live better and hopefully normal lives. In the midst of the cleanup and everything else, Dr. Wells, along with a couple of other search and rescue teams from Rotatasker, would help in cleaning up the damages of everything that had been caused. Among all of the destruction, among all of the debris, the doctor trudged along in his moving wheelchair, eventually moving towards the corpse of Clyde Mardon, watching him as he laid there. Thankfully, there was no one around, no one to see. The doctor would stand from his chair as he knelt beside the body. Truly fascinating. So there's even a copy of you in this world. It seems my theory is correct. This world, it's been imprinted on. I didn't even think such a thing would be possible, but damn. I wonder how many more are out there. I mean, I already know a few, but still, I wonder how much made it to this side. But still, it's kind of ironic. Even in another world, even when given another chance, you still die the same. Kinda makes me wonder, how much of it is nature and nurture? What could have led you to this point? It doesn't matter. In the end, you were nothing more but a cog in this never-ending machine. Nothing worth of note. But you do provide me with a lot of answers. The doctor would quickly get back to his chair, just in time as more crewmen arrived. I found the body over here. We can take it and have it properly disposed of. As the doctor wheeled away, he looked up at the bright blue sky that shined above. He smiled to himself as he continued wheeling along. Just soon enough, and I'll be free of this world. And then I'll find you, Barry. You know you can't be rid of me forever. After all, we are connected. This concludes Data Live Flash in Time. What if Shido was the Flash? Season 2, Part 2. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcasting that's to come out now and in the future. And stay tuned for tomorrow's video as we continue with Part 3 of Season 2 of What If Shido Was the Flash. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. Signing off, and I'll see you next time.